Last day of the week, but still time to see what's moving markets with Reuters Breaking Views. Today's top stories: why Germany is the first beneficiary of Mario Draghi's determination to shore up the euro's future, and why Catalonia's independence isn't worth the pain. Breaking Views European editor Pierre Brasson has kindly joined us in the studio to help us figure these stories out. Pierre, thanks so much for joining us. So surprisingly upbeat business sentiment numbers from Germany. How much is this down to the ECB's bond buying plan?
It's all about confidence. What happens is that the German businesses now look ahead and see a eurozone that will not break up, a adjustment process going on in the periphery and big export markets for Germany. Germany nor is the eurozone are out of the woods yet. I mean, we're not saying that, but it's definitely a sign that Mario Draghi's powerful message that whatever it takes would be done to save the euro, to keep the euro alive, would be done. And so, ironically, German businesses are very happy about what the Bundesbank is criticizing more and more loudly, as we see, which is Mario Draghi's bond buying, a promise of a bond buying program, because of course we have to remind you, it hasn't even started yet. So we know it has helped periphery countries like Italy and Spain because it lowered their funding costs. But now we're seeing that the eurozone as a whole is benefiting from the confidence effect, and that's ironically Germany's first beneficiary of that.
Does that mean we're going to see other member states, the bigger ones like France, also start seeing more positive indicators?
Well, the reason Germany benefits from it is that its economy is fundamentally stronger than the other guys, including France, as we've seen last week. But it's still a fact that without the ECB overall message, creating that atmosphere that forget about the breakup, or forget about even about Brexit, about this is here to stay, German businesses are now looking ahead with much more confidence than they have.
And of course, Draghi saying the euro is irreversible may have helped as well.
Well, the difference is that people are beginning to believe it. Where in the past couple of years, of course, when Trichet was saying that, people were still wondering, okay, yeah, and what does he do to put his money where his mouth is, so to speak, literally?
Yes.
Whereas when Draghi came in, of course, I think Trichet would have done the same thing, but the fact that the ECB is now the lender of last resort, has pledged unlimited support if needed, people are saying that it has some effect.
Let's turn to Spain now. Voters there choosing a new parliament this Sunday. What can we expect?
Well, first of all, the region, Catalonia's president, has promised to hold a referendum, if his party gets the majority, a referendum on independence within the next 2 or 3 years. And we're saying that Catalonia independence is very nice on paper. You can make a very convincing case that Catalonia is the richest region in Spain, it exports a lot, its fiscal situation arguably could be less severe if it was independent, but that's purely theoretical because the cost of the breakup, you're talking about a Catalonia that would be isolated not only from Spain, but outside the European Union, outside the Eurozone, and 60%, 70%, 80% of its export markets are there. It would have to redo the whole thing. The cost of the breakup by itself would make Catalonia much less rich and wealthy and prosperous as it is now. So in other words, it's not worth the pain because the pain would be tremendous.
How much of this is going to pose problems for Rajoy?
Well, it poses a major political problem. I think eventually Catalonian vote. First of all, I don't think the referendum will be on a straightforward independence in terms of creating a sovereign nation, if you want. Second, you can expect a lot of political discussion and back and forth and bargaining and grandstanding. In the meantime, in the next 2 years, if the pro-independence parties win the election on Sunday, a lot of back and forth. What's at stake is a review, probably a strong reform, fundamental reform of the way of the financial relationship between the centre and the regions, and that's really what's at stake.
Right, thanks very much, Pierre. We have to leave it there. That's Pierre Brasson. Coming up in half an hour, click on to our fact box looking at why bankers can expect to find up to 30% less in their 2012 bonus packets. I'm Angeline Ong, and this is Reuters.